All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebonie again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Miss Robin with us. How are you, Robin?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us. And for those of you that choose to stick around to the end, you may have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. And Robin is such a powerhouse full of wealthy information to share with us today. So I encourage you definitely to stick around, listen to the tools and nuggets that she wants to share with us today. So Robin, start us off just so that we get to know a little bit about you on a personal level. Tell us one motivational quote that really inspires you, something that encourages you.
My inspiration is if you can view it, you can do it. And what I mean by that is if you have vision enough to know that you see something that you can do, as long as you put your mind to it, you can do it. So if you can view it, you can do it.
Yes, and I think that sometimes we forget that all we have to do is put our mind towards something, focused on that thing, and then just take the action steps toward it and just believe that it's achievable.
Yes.
We all know that sometimes that is easier said than done, and at times there are unforeseen circumstances and obstacles that come into play that we're like, wow, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And sometimes it even derails us. So can you talk a little bit about a time when you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel and you had some unforeseen challenges and circumstances, but at the end of the day, you were able to bring your goal or your dream to fruition?
I can do that. When I first got started, I got the notion of writing back in 2000, December of 2000. And after I had learned that I was going to be writing through vision, through hearing God's voice at the time, then I started sharing that with people. As I was starting to share that with people, of course, well, how do you know it was the voice of God? Well, how do you know that's what he told you to do? And that in itself could have been discouraging. In fact, when I started having my rehearsals at the church at that time, I was locked out of the church. I was asked what I'm doing in the church. Even though my godfather, who was living at the time, was fully in support, there were those in that church that tried to push me out. They didn't believe in what I was trying to do. The pastor believed in it. He even asked me to go to the person who was in charge of the drama, talk to her about collaborating. She had nothing. She wanted nothing to do with me. So that was a challenge. It was a challenge getting people to accept the fact that I knew I was supposed to be writing. And even though I had written my first stage play in 2 weeks, having not written a play before and had gotten some people together to act, those were challenges that almost made me go back and say, well, wait a minute, did I hear right? Is this what I'm supposed to do? So I'm saying now I kept going in spite of all of that, and it was quite a chore. But yes, those were my early challenges.
That is interesting. So what was it about your writing and acting endeavors that they were against?
The fact that I thought I heard God say, write a modern day play. The fact that some people that get so established in what they're doing, say for instance, a drama ministry director at the church, they're used to doing things their way, on their terms. Here comes somebody from the outside who might have a little more talent than you, who is trying to make it better. And some people can get beside themselves. They can feel, a little, well, wait a minute, they're trying to take over. And they start to protect that thing. So it was hard. It was difficult to get past. I even left the church because of it, because it was the message that came to me when I was going through all of that was stay and live, stay and die, or leave and live. And at the time I was in an abusive marriage. So I was thinking, oh, it's about that. No, it was about my gift was about to die because of the things that were going on with those people in that church. So I left and let my gift live, or I stayed and let my gift die.
That's a interesting segue into what I was going to ask you as far as how we can gain support for our dreams and our visions. And a lot of times people don't necessarily understand what that vision is all about, or even how to support us. And they may even want to support us, but they don't know how to do it because they're not clear and familiar with the direction that you're going. So it's like, I would love to help you, but I don't even know where to start. So what are some ways that you're able to gain the support? What were some ways that you were able to gain the support that you needed? And what kind of recommendations would you give to somebody that's going through that?
Well, some of the ways was some of the actors that I had asked at the church at the time to be a part of my first play. They were very supportive. So they started saying things like, well, I have a person that can help sponsor us. Or I know some people, I know some businesses that wouldn't mind coming in and giving a couple of dollars. That helped me because they came behind me and said, I got you. I believe in what you're doing. I want to be a part of this. My godfather, Jack Dewar, he helped me because he was a deacon in that church. And he pushed so hard to get me to get my rehearsals done. And, you know, I was just kind of, because of that, I didn't give up. Right. So that's how I got my support. People that believed in me, regardless of what they thought the outcome might be. My godfather, and even though I was going through a very difficult time in a very domestic violent relationship, I still found those people that stood behind me and said, I've got your back.
And that's a blessing, because too many times you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this all alone, and everybody else is so busy doing their own thing, and don't know where to turn to get that help that you need to be able to push through to the next phase of your life. Right. So that's amazing that even though you had those people that were like, oh, what's wrong with you, Robin? Have you gone crazy? You still had those select few that were like, well, I'm here for you regardless.
Right.
I think that sometimes people feel like the family members and friends that they do have, they feel like, well, these are people that I just don't even want to burden them and ask for their help, even though they will be supportive.
Right.
So what can you say to people that fall into that situation? I find that very often with a lot of women, they're not necessarily comfortable with delegating and asking for help.
Right. I just had to trust that those people that were in my family that did have my back would have my back. But I also on my own did a lot of research and found other people outside of them that were in the craft already that gave me the support, lots of information, referred me to a lot of other agencies that would help me in my quest to be a playwright at that time. And then, you know, also with that, I mean, there are some family members that do not want to see you succeed. Right. So I had that too. I had the ones that were behind me and the ones that were trying to keep me back. Oh, let's keep her right here, you know, because we can control her, so to speak. You just kind of have to have a deaf ear to that type of trying to get you from where you know you're supposed to be. And just kind of grab hold of those people that say they've got your back and trust that they do, but also do your own research and know that, okay, they're here, but those people are there as well.
Yes. And for me, it's almost like second nature to go and do my own research and look for things I need to look for and network with people that don't even live in the same country sometimes. You know, I think that with the World Wide Web, it's even easier now to reach out and find people to support you with like-minded interests than maybe it was years ago, just because of the fact that years ago, maybe you could only locate people within a 20, 50-mile radius of your home. Now you go onto a social media platform or typing any keywords in Google and you'll find different communities of people all around the world that at the end of the day, we're very much similar to each other. We might be in different geographical locations and have different cultural things that we've grown up doing, but as a whole, we're very similar to each other. And a lot of times when we have similar interests in a particular area, like for you in the acting industry, we're naturally going to feel like we want to help each other just because we like talking about it. You know?
Right.
So yes, I encourage anybody here listening that if you feel like people around you don't understand or don't want to help you, do your own research and be your own cheerleader sometimes.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about the relationship between self-care and carrying out our dreams and purpose? Because or a lot of people, they don't necessarily have a lot of energy to do what they want to do. So they may be very clear on what it is that they would like to do, but after they've worked their 40-hour-a-week job, or they've taken care of the children, or their aging parents, or whatever it is, they feel like, man, I'm just too tired. I don't feel like doing this. So what are some ways that you find self-care to be effective for you, and how you've established your life, and some things that other people could do?
Well, at the age of 51 years old, I have learned that the older you get, the slower you get. And that metabolism, that means your walk, that means everything about you slows down. I have to eat right. I have to exercise. That's how I keep my energy levels up. I have to watch. I love coffee, but I can't overdo it with coffee. I have to keep my water going. If I take care of this, it will take care of me. And a lot of people wonder how I do wear so many hats. I'm a playwright. I'm an author. I'm a director. I'm a producer. I'm a writer. I do all these different things. And then I'm an accountant, and I have my own accounting business. How do you balance that? Family, fiance, how do you do that? Because I take care of myself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand, well, you don't have any time for yourself. I do have time for myself. My morning is dedicated to making sure that I get my workout in, or whatever I'm going to do. And I have time that I meditate, and I have time that I spend with family and friends. So I do, and I make sure that I'm normally in the bed by 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock sometimes. So I get the rest that I need. I get the nutrition that I need. I splurge a lot, but I make sure that this body that I'm taking care of is taken care of.
Yes, and that is so key. And I think that a lot of times people may feel like, well, if I'm not taking care of this person, or attending to this task, or this task over here, that this person is going to die somehow. When in all actuality, if you don't do it, they'll just find somebody else to do it, right?
Right.
So you have to take care of your needs, not in a selfish way where you care less about other people at all, but when you feel tired, or when you feel like, I just need some time to myself, then take that time to yourself. All these billions of people on this earth, they will find somebody to help.
Oh yeah. With that, there was a time when I took my weekends, every other weekend, I'd go away by myself. If it was just an hour away, I'd get a room and pamper myself, and just get a hotel and eat in the room and do things for myself. You have to find time for you, because you are important. And I've lost friends because they felt like I didn't have time for them anymore. If I'm going to build my brand, and you can't understand that and get with me when I have time to get with you, then we just can't get. I've lost so many people like that, because they don't understand. You're working all the time. You're doing so many things. Yes, I am. And my words to them are, you have the same 24 hours that I have.
Yeah.
You work just as hard as I do. You can do just as many things as I do. Managing your time and knowing what's important to you, you have to make you first. Do that.
Yes. And I think that scheduling time, there's nothing wrong with scheduling time. As long as you're scheduling that time, then you're scheduling that time. But no, you're not necessarily going to be able to jump just because somebody says jump.
Right. No.
And at the end of the day, you resent them, because it's like, man, I jumped when they said jump, and now look, this over here is failing.
Right.
It's like, you gotta prioritize your time and really think about what's important. And if people can't understand that this is what's important right now, I didn't say I was going to shut you out of my life forever, but this is what's important right now. Well, then that's on them. And that's how I look at that.
Right.
I also think that there will always be people that come along after we've grown, that a lot of times we look at those old relationships as, okay, well, that was good for a season.
Right.
And they move on with new people, and so do you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's called growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk a little bit about the type of people that you would want to collaborate with you, because you wear so many different hats and you have so many different interests. So talk a little bit about what's the type of person that you would like to attract, and what are some of your next projects or ideas that you want to put out there that people should know about?
Well, I want to collaborate with aspiring actors, anyone that's trying to get into the business, that wants to know more about acting, those people that want acting tips, what directors are looking for. I want to talk with them. I want to talk with other directors, other playwrights. I get many, many requests. Just got one that I'm going to be talking with a young lady tomorrow. How do I turn my book into a play? Those are the types of people that I'm trying to collaborate with. I'm not new to the filmmaking business. I have 3 short films under my belt and a web series, but I want to talk to filmmakers. What are some of your challenges? How can we come together and collaborate? I'm in Florida now, so I want to connect with people here in Florida, with actors, directors, and writers. I just started a group on my Robbie Wright's page, Director's Chair, where I want to talk with people and help actors and directors and producers. How do you produce a show? I've got background in that. So those are the types of people that I'm trying to connect with. And all you that do the podcast, I would love to talk with all of you, because I enjoy sharing my story and whatever I have. I won 4 awards with my web series, so I feel like I can offer something to someone else that might be trying to get into a web series development. So that type of, I'm ready to just connect with Floridians, and wherever your podcast reaches, I want to connect with those people.
Awesome. And I think that you having such a passion for it, like, this is not something that someone had to tell you. Private. I think that you should, it's something that you said, I actually had to go through a lot of heat in order to live out my gifts and my passion. So it's not going anywhere. It's something that's within you, and it's gonna be there. So how much more to want to collaborate with somebody that really feels like, this is something I love. It's not something I'm doing just because I saw that this person over here was able to make it, and I want to, make it just like how they made it. It's just something that lives in you.
Right. Exactly.
So your idea of turning a book into a play. So what you're thinking about is people that have written a book that they want to be turned into a play. How would people see these plays? Are these going to be local plays, and will they also be online at all, so that people in other geographical locations can view these plays as well?
I would think so. I would encourage anyone that's trying to do that, like with my web series, I have a YouTube page. Always connect with YouTube. And then there are other avenues to connect with as well. But connecting with YouTube or Vimeo or anything like that to put your play up there and let everybody, and then Facebook. I mean, really, Facebook. Put your clips there and get people interested. There's so many ways. A book, you see this all the time with movies based on the bestseller. So it's easy to turn a book into a play. You just have to know how to do it. There's different ways, there's different styles to write that 1-page chapter, or there was 50-page chapter into, you're trying to do a movie now. So it can't be a 50-hour movie.
Right.
But you just have to know how to do that, and to how to touch on those major factors in that book, so that people can see the play or see the movie and say, oh gosh, it's, you don't get that a lot. So everything, to me, we have too much access, as you said, to the web.
Yes.
Where everything, why isn't it on the web so that other people can see it all over the world?
Yeah. And as you were talking, I'm actually thinking about somebody right now that said that she wants to write a book and turn it into a actual film. Okay. And I think that's such a cool idea, because we always think in terms of big Hollywood cinema, but there are interesting stories from people right here in our local communities. I think that with, as you said, YouTube and all the other online platforms where you're able to reach millions of people. Why not utilize that? We don't have to wait on Hollywood to do everything.
No, that's right.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate this. Anybody that's listening, if you have any type of success story or any experiences, it's particularly very creative experiences or ideas that you want to talk about, all of my contact info is in the description box, so you can reach out to me, and I would love for you to be able to share your vision and your ideas with others. And these interviews do reach people far and wide. I'm always surprised when people say, oh, I saw your interview and I saw so-and-so talk about this. And because she said this, I decided I would do X, Y, Z. So don't think that your experiences or your story is too little.
Right.
The right person will be able to connect with it, and you just never know where it may take you. So I appreciate you, Robin.
Thank you.
For anybody out there that feels like this was of no help to them, I'm sure it was, but if it wasn't, share it with somebody else that it might be able to help.
Exactly.
All of Robin's contact info will also be in the description box. So I encourage you guys to collaborate with her or to think of people that would love to be able to connect with her.
Yes.
Do you have any last words of encouragement for all the ladies that could be listening all around the world? Anything else that you think that we can be inspired or influenced into positive action with?
Yes. Do not let the industry define you. You define the industry.
I like that. Love that. Love that. And that takes a great element of self-awareness. For those of you that heard me in the beginning talk about you would be able to earn a complimentary gift, in the description box as well is the link to my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group. It's nutrition, the number 4, busy women Facebook group. And one of the things that I'm always talking to ladies about is to become more self-aware. And the more self-aware you become, the more likely it is that you're going to want to bring the gifts and the talents and all of the things that you're naturally strong at. You're going to want to bring those to light. But some people need a little help with focusing in on what those talents and gifts are. So if you need help in that area, I provide complimentary assessments to be able to help you determine what your true personality type is, as well as your God-given gifts and how you can utilize those either in your current industry, or if you want to branch out and transition into something new, how you can transition those into something brand new that feels better to you. So I encourage you guys to join me and get to know some other ladies, purpose-driven ladies, a little bit more intimately as well. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Robin. And for those of you that are listening, don't forget to live a life full of meaning and purpose wherever you are in the world. And I will talk to you in our next episode.
Yes. Thank you.